Broadcasting from Now Media Network's headquarters in Houston, this is Be Productive, hosted by business strategist and productivity expert Clara Capano. Join us to discuss the most critical issues affecting our businesses with a fresh, practical, and objective discussion on the first bilingual media network in the United States. Be Productive starts right now.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Be Productive. I am your host, Clara Capano. Today we are talking about investing, but we're going to put a nice little spin on it, and we're going to talk about 4 different areas in which we need to start thinking about how we are investing. We are going to talk again about how we have to invest in the back end of our business so that we can get the results that we want and the profits we want on the front end. We're going to talk about how we are investing in our communication tactics, especially as it refers to our ability to be a strong negotiator. We are going to talk about how we are going to invest in our systems so that everything that we are creating is going to be protected. And lastly, one of my favorite things that we get to talk about is how we are investing our time. So this is the show where we are going to talk with industry experts and give you the lowdown so that as a business owner, as a leader, you can have everything you need in your toolbox. So are you ready to be productive? We'll be right back to dive into the conversation.
What if this happened to you when you're alone? Or what if it happened here? With MedGuard Alert, you're never alone. You can connect with medical professionals anywhere, anytime. And now MedGuard is introducing our exclusive new Care Watch. If you need help quickly, use it from anywhere to contact medical professionals. No cell phone required. The Care Watch is not only a life-saving medical alert device, it's a revolutionary health monitoring system that checks your blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, and much more. And here's the best part. If you have Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. The Care Watch is only available through MedGuard Alert. Call us right now. We have monitoring programs starting as low as $1 a day. The call is free, activation is free, shipping is free, and no contract is required. Remember, with Medicaid, you may qualify to get your Care Watch for free. Don't wait. Call us to get your Care Watch right now. Operators are standing by.
Are you ready to shake up the world of health with me? Welcome to Disruptive Health, where we are flipping the script on traditional wellness. I'm Dr. Denise Brown, and on this show, we are diving deep into the latest trends and breakthroughs in health and wellness. Whether you're curious about nutrition, exploring new therapies, or just want to live your best life, Disruptive Health is your guide. Don't miss Disruptive Health, coming soon to Now Media TV.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
Welcome back to Be Productive. I am your host, Clara Capano. And one of the things we talk about to help business owners and leaders to be more productive is to oftentimes make sure that we have the back end of our business is taken care of. Part of that comes under the umbrella of insurance. We want to make sure we have the right coverages, the right system, so that everything is operating at the highest level possible. And here to help us with this conversation, I have my friend Chase Traffica with Turner Policies here to talk to us a little bit about some of the innovations that we're seeing in the world of commercial insurance. So Chase, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Claire. It's great to be on.
You bet. So you've been doing this for a while. So, when it comes to commercial insurance, talk to us about some of the current trends that we're seeing and we need to be aware of.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it in today's market has to do with M&A, mergers and acquisitions. I think a lot of smaller firms are beginning to be purchased by your large nationwide firms, and that is impacting the industry at a pretty high clip at the moment.
Yeah. So when we're looking at a lot of these changes, again, with companies merging together, people acquiring others, how do all these differences in market trends affect the overall policy coverage and also the payments? Because people are really concerned about the bottom line right now, as they should be.
Right, absolutely. And I think the pricing is going to have many factors, as it typically does. But speaking to the mergers part of it, as these companies come together, you're seeing the competition dwindle slightly on the policies and packages and programs that are available. As far as the coverage goes, it probably is strengthened through mergers and acquisitions, just because the resources now from the smaller agencies have grown in size and they have access to more markets and more availability for programs they didn't have previously.
Well, that's great news because, again, so many times people think that the options are shrinking. So to hear that options are actually growing, that's something really positive for, business owners and, companies and leaders to talk about. So what are some of the innovations that we're seeing? If we're seeing more availability of some products and services, what are some of the, industry, I would say, innovations that you're seeing?
So a large part of it, obviously, is going to have to do with the technology. AI is a big topic in the industry now, as it is in every industry. But as far as that goes, you're seeing some insurtechs pop up. Some fall by the wayside very quickly, but some that are offering programs that weren't offered before. I also think you're seeing a little more intelligence come into coverages where it's not a standard coverage anymore. You can offer a customized coverage to a customized business, and it makes a lot more sense for that business. And that also goes into the cyber coverages, which just as of 5-10 years ago, really were an afterthought. And now they're becoming a huge point of emphasis in the industry. You see your large players like Target, Regions, these people have breaches. And it doesn't only impact those guys, it impacts small businesses as well. So you're seeing a huge emphasis on cyber coverage.
Yeah. I'm really glad that you brought that up because, we have to pay attention to these because as much as we don't want those attacks coming, unfortunately, we are seeing more of that with the age of technology. And you're right. It's not just the big dogs. It's sometimes the littler organizations and companies that need that protection. So I'm really glad that you brought that up and, looking at that. And that is why it is so important for leaders and business owners to have an expert like you guiding them through, because like you said, one size doesn't always fit all. So to be able to have an expert guiding them through, asking them the questions so that they can really custom fit the right coverage they need, that is going to help them in the long run. So what is the best place? Because I know there's going to be some companies and leaders that are going to want to reach out and maybe ask you some questions. Where's the best place for people to connect with you?
Absolutely. So LinkedIn is a wonderful place. We get, inquiries there a lot. Turnerfirst.com is also our website, which there's multiple buttons where you can subscribe or contact us. And as you speak to the correct agent or broker to represent someone, there's a lot of optionality in the industry. And what you really need is somebody that understands your industry and not necessarily just insurance, because regardless of what industry your business is in, there are coverages that are only for that industry. And the more we can customize to your business, the better. But if we don't understand the industry that we're insuring, we're going to be in a tough spot trying to find you coverage adequate enough.
Yeah, good point. So, Chase, thank you so much for being here. So, remember, having experts to help guide you through to make sure that you have the correct policies. It's going to save you time because you're not going to have to be out there doing all the guesswork. It's going to save you money because they're going to connect you with the right policies that you need for your company in your industry. So make sure again that you are protecting yourself by really having experts help you with the research. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Be Productive.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low-cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Welcome back to Be Productive. I am your host, Clara Capano. Today, what we are talking about is being able to be more productive and purposeful as we communicate through marketing. You know, so many of us are putting ourselves out there on all the different platforms. So we are communicating over the internet through our marketing, our branding, and all those messages. What we want to do is make sure that we are sending the right messages. So to help me with our conversation on effective communication in marketing, I have my friend Todd Wall. Todd, welcome to the show. It's good to see you again.
Clara, I love our talks. I can't wait.
I know. Yes, you and I just have a great time. We're talking about two things that you and I are so passionate about, which is communication. So let's dive into this because, again, I think with the age of the internet, technology, it is both a blessing and a curse. And so many of us are communicating through the different platforms. But we also know that without that tonality, without the body language, sometimes communication can go awry. So, how can we integrate our effective communication styles and strategies as we do it through a marketing perspective?
Since we're no longer as face to face as we once were, and everything's virtual, the literal words that we use are paramount. They are absolutely key. Don't be cute, be clear. Clarity creates action. Donald Miller in StoryBrand, he articulates this perfectly with their tagline, which is, if you confuse, you lose. And he tells this example in his illustration in StoryBrand. He says, when you go into a supermarket, he said, your brain is processing all of this information of all these different labels and boxes and sizes and colors. And it's trying to process all of this as quickly as it possibly can. But it's also trying to reserve calories at the same time and be as efficient as it can. So the message that is the clearest and helps the brain to process the fastest is the one who wins. It's not the one, it may not even be the best product, but it's the one who communicates the clearest, the fastest. So it needs to say exactly what you do and not necessarily just trying to be cute with some overly cute tagline that doesn't move, especially the Google algorithm, much less the human brain.
Yeah. Really powerful. That's a lot to, food for thought to bring in. And this idea of, again, confusion over clarity. And it's so true because when people are confused, they don't make decisions. And we want to make sure that when we're communicating with our clients, our target audience, that's the whole goal, is to have them get into action and make decisions. So what would you say are some of the most common pitfalls that we have in communicating when we're communicating out there, again, through the internet, through our marketing, and what can we do to avoid some of those?
The absolute most common thing is we make our messaging about us and about how great we think we are, about how great our product is. And we even almost shout it louder and louder and louder and louder. People are concerned about themselves. At our core, we're all very, very selfish. So understanding that as a psychological understanding and accepting that, then you make your message about the other person. What is their problem? How does that problem feel to them? Why is it just absolutely right versus wrong that they have that problem and it needs to be solved? And then what is the simple steps you're offering that set you apart from the other one, that's very crystal clear, that says, oh, you have the magic ointment or you have the magic ingredient that this other one doesn't have. So I'm going to quickly see that because it solves the problem that I am feeling.
Exactly. Yeah, there is something out there called the economic law, which states that money flows to value. And I think that's what we're trying to communicate, is the value. And one of the things that I speak on, I call it the 6 magic words. It's not anything new, but the 6 magic words are what this means to you is. And that's what we have to do, is when we're working on communicating to our clients through whatever medium it is, always bringing it back to why it's important to them. Because if they don't see the value, again, they won't be clear. Now, we know that there are so many different varieties of platforms out there. Is there some differences in how we show up and how we might communicate off the different platforms?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every single one is absolutely different. And so the first element you have to decide is, what is the message you want to communicate? And again, it's not because of what makes you great. People are concerned about themselves. Who is the audience you're trying to reach? And then what is the message that they need to hear? That's the very foundational thing that you have to decide. Once you know what your audience is and the message they need to hear, then you break that down. What are 3 ways that I want to communicate that message consistently? Mm-hmm. And then once you've broken that down, then each channel has a different way of communicating. And so on this channel, what are the viral ways that kind of take off, that get more traction on this particular platform? So you study that platform and you understand what's the voice I need to have on this platform. And then the final element is, it's called social media. Be social. Engage with other people like a real person that's not just trying to give a sales pitch.
Exactly. Now, going back to what you said a moment ago, that each of them has sort of their own different voice. Do you think that, like, if I had the message, I could draft my message, but then could I go into something sort of like ChatGPT and say, put this in the tone for Instagram, put this in the tone for LinkedIn? Would that be a system that people can do so that they're crafting their message in the right way for that platform?
Oh yeah, AI tools such as that are extremely valuable, but more than anything, and they'll get you so far, but but people are learning to recognize when AI does it. And so people are looking for authenticity more than anything. Yeah. So again, it's social media, and that's honestly, that is my biggest platform on this, is if it's social, be social. If you're at a cocktail party, how would you interact with people at a cocktail party? It's the same thing. It's just different types of cocktail parties. Yeah. And so you have to show authenticity and interest in other people. If you show interest in other people, then they're going to show interest back into what you're communicating.
It's so true. And I think, again, in this era where we have so much technology, we cannot forget the core component of humanity behind everything. So I love that you're talking about that and staying social. Now, Todd, you've been doing this for a few years. How long have you been in this realm and helping people to improve upon their communication? Because this is your area of expertise.
Well, I've been in broadcasting for 30 years with ESPN, Fox Sports, behind the camera on some of the world's largest stages. But then, and I was a pastor for 10 years on stage, hundreds and hundreds of hours on stage communicating and meeting with people one-on-one with their problems and issues. And that spurred into 15 years as a certified coach with the International Coaching Federation, and learning a specific method to be able to help people process and communicate in the necessary way. So as a coach, 15 years, as a visual communicator, 30 years.
Fantastic. So where's the best place for people to find you? Because I know that, as people are watching, they're going to love what you're hearing and they might want to reach out to you.
Absolutely. LinkedIn is Todd Wall. Instagram is TV Toad.
Love it. Fantastic. All right, everyone, you heard it here. We have got to be social. We have got to connect, and we've got to make sure that behind our messaging is this word value. Always making it about them and making sure that we are delivering value to them. Because when people are confused, they do not go forward. So let's help to unlock their clarity, and that's going to help all of us level up our own productivity. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
Have you ever had to hire multiple contractors? It is a daunting task that takes a lot of management time and impacts the core business or the company that time you're spent with your loved ones. At Texas Home Property Solutions, you can count on a responsible company that can tackle all your general contractor needs. Electricity, painting, remodeling, plumbing, air conditioning, and roofing. Hire us and forget it. With over 20 years of experience, Texas Home Property Solution will deliver your project on time and within budget, with a high level of quality and integrity, no matter the size or complexity. If you are a company, a government institution, or an individual who needs a general contractor, you need Texas Home Property Solution. Take a decisive step and call us today for a free consultation.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Welcome back to Be Productive. I'm your host, Clara Capano. And right now we are talking about data security. You know, cybersecurity is a buzz right now, and it's something that we all need to be aware of, regardless of the size of our organization. And to help me with this conversation, I'm bringing in my friend Greg Schaefer, who is an expert in this field. So Greg, welcome to the show.
So glad to be here. Good to see you again.
Yes, you as well. And, you know, one of the things that we have learned is, you know, getting the right type of security system for an organization. They are not one size fits all. And it's really critical that when organizations are looking at systems and frameworks, they have to really find one that's going to be in alignment with their industry. Mm-hmm. So talk to me a little bit about this framework and the analysis in learning what type of framework organizations need.
Well, it all begins with what the business is doing, what vertical they're in. So if you have someone who's in healthcare, they're going to be more aligned to something like HIPAA or high trust. Mm-hmm. And if you have someone in finance, they're going to be more aligned to what we call the FFIEC, smaller business, sometimes generically, they're going to be aligned to something called NIST CSF. There's a lot of letters and a lot of acronyms here. And so what we typically do first, when we have my firm, we do consulting for small and mid-sized businesses in the cybersecurity space from a risk management perspective. And what we first do is we determine what framework is appropriate for their program. So for example, they may be an organization that processes credit cards. And in that case, then they're going to be needing to comply with what we call PCI. And that's a framework to ensure that your cardholder data is secure because you don't want your credit card data to get out. And the business doesn't want it to get out because if it does get out, then they're going to be responsible. And there's going to be some risks and damages there, reputational risks, some financial risk for monitoring and all of that, regulatory risks. So it boils down to several different factors. The first being, again, what industry are you in? The second being, well, what size and maturity are you? Because if you have a startup that is really just starting from scratch, we can't bring you from 0 to 60 in like 0 seconds. There's going to be some beginning baby steps, if you will. So there are frameworks that are more conducive to that. Some small or mid-sized businesses may have heard the terms NIST cybersecurity framework or the CIS top 18 controls, those sorts of things. Those are designed for entry level, if you will, into security programs. But then from there, you can leap into some of the more specific ones that we talked about before. And another one that's becoming more impactful and popular, if you will, among some. If a small or mid-sized business, if they're a federal contractor or if they work, they are a sub for a federal contractor, they've probably heard the term CMMC, which is Cybersecurity Maturity Model Compliance or certification.
Mhm.
And that's a big topic that's coming down the pipe right now. So to kind of sum up that really long list of acronyms, and I could list about 30 others right now, the point being is that when anyone comes to you as a consultant, and if we come to you as a consultant for your business and we start laying out these acronyms, it's because we're trying to find the framework that is going to work best for your organization.
Yeah. And I really appreciate that because I don't think that a lot of, the people who are getting started with this understand the importance of getting the framework that's really going to be best suited for them.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I would imagine is it's not just about what is the framework, but each industry, and you mentioned especially like with the government employees, they're going to have compliance issues. So it's a matter of one, finding the alignment of the industry, but then also making sure we're compliant. So how does making sure that the framework has the right compliance, and how is that going to help with the overall posturing of security for an organization?
Well, we have a saying in the information security field that compliance doesn't equal security. But there's also the truthism that if you have a really effective information security program, and I use the terms information security and cybersecurity somewhat interchangeable, but really cybersecurity is a subset of InfoSec. But if you have an effective program, regardless of the framework, you'll probably meet 90% plus or minus of the compliance of whatever regulatory framework that you're trying to work towards. And so, well, what that means is you don't want to build a security program just towards compliance. You want to build it from good standards and following best practices, but it can also be the catalyst for a small or mid-sized business really enhancing their security program. And I'll give you a quick example on that. One of the business enablers that's become more and more prevalent for SMBs in the past 5, 6, 10 years is that you have their potential customers asking for verification of their security program, usually through what they call a SOC 2 audit. And a lot of times the SMB will reach out to folks like us saying, what is a SOC 2 audit? Well, it's basically they're meaning to find out that their security program, if they want to do business with you, that it's up to snuff. So the business that reaches out to us maybe didn't consider security as much as they should have beforehand, but now that it means revenue, potential further revenue, then they realize, well, perhaps then we need to really build this framework. That's a common gateway, if you will, into building information security programs for SMBs.
Yeah. You are such a wealth of knowledge in this area, and I want to do our best into really making sure that we're boiling this down to some of the key ingredients so that the person out there that's starting, and I know you have such a passion for working with small business owners. Talk to us a little bit about the process, and can you explain the process of getting the alignment that you need across all these different multiple frameworks?
So in a lot of cases, some businesses really only have to align to one framework. And in that case, it becomes really simple. But as they grow, often they have other requirements. And what we always suggest is that you build your what we call control catalog, not based on any particular framework. And just briefly, where I'm going with that is you can have a framework, the framework has requirements, and then sometimes organizations will write their list of controls, things that they do to lower risk, directly associated with that wording there. And then if you go to another framework that suddenly you got to become compliant with, like again, maybe PCI, well, it might not match up. So we encourage building a high level control listing that can easily then map to different frameworks. So typically a control list shouldn't be anything more than like, if you have more than 60 or 70 controls, that's probably a little bit too much. And again, it's nothing complicated. A control is just something that you do to secure information. So encrypting information, that's a control. It's very simple. We just like to use all these fancy words to make that happen. But the control then becomes the glue to making these different frameworks talk to each other, if you will.
Yeah. You know, what I think is so important that I am learning from you, and I can see the power of working with an expert like yourself in your company, is because it's so many levels deep. You know, you have to, first of all, again, do the assessments. You've got to make sure you're in the right framework. But what I also love that you just talked about is as the company grows, as the organization goes into different levels of, you know, their growth and their hierarchies, you're going to need to evolve along with it. And when they partner with someone like you, you're going to be with them long term. And the thing that I love that you just said is you're going to make it simple for them. This doesn't have to be complex. So, you know, Greg, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing information security and information technology for about 34 years.
So you know this stuff.
I've been around since before the term cybersecurity existed. Actually, they didn't even call it information technology. They called it data processing. But as far as specifically the virtual CISO world, I've been doing that now full time for about 7 years.
I love that. So again, your company is called vCISO Systems, and this is what you do.
Services, yeah.
Sources, I'm sorry. So this is what you do. Tell us again where we can find you, because there are going to be some people out there that need to contact you. And for all of you watching, I hope that you're taking notes on these, because these are key components for you.
So the best way to reach out to us is go to our website, vcisoservices.com. We've got resources out there in our blog. We're constantly updating the blog at least once a month with critical information for small and mid-sized businesses. You can also go email us at info@vcisoservices.com, or certainly call us. Our number will be on the website.
Fantastic. Again, for all of you watching, make sure you are taking time to delve into this. I love that you have a blog. So even if we just need to start educating ourselves, I think so many times we think this doesn't apply to us because we're a small business. And regardless of your size, even if you're an organization of just one, you need to make sure you are getting your framework and your assessments together. So Greg, thank you so much for being here. For all of you watching, make sure you are taking the steps to ensure that your systems and that the services you're providing for your clients are protected. Stay tuned, because we'll be right back for more Be Productive.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Are you ready to shake up the world of health with me? Welcome to Disruptive Health, where we are flipping the script on traditional wellness. I'm Dr. Denise Brown, and on this show, we are diving deep into the latest trends and breakthroughs in health and wellness. Whether you're curious about nutrition, exploring new therapies, or just want to live your best life, Disruptive Health is your guide. Don't miss Disruptive Health, coming soon to Now Media TV.
Welcome back to Be Productive. I am your host, Clara Capano. And in this next segment, you are going to want to have pen and paper ready because we are getting ready to talk about time. This is one of my very favorite things to talk about because time is the great equalizer. And when we can start paying attention to how we are investing our time rather than just spending our time, man, it's a game changer in our ability to be productive. So to help me with this conversation, I'm bringing in my friend, Mark Wetzig, who is a business growth strategist out of Denver, Colorado. So Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Yes. So we are talking time management, and how we can start to bring this in and be more strategic with how we invest our time and how that then translates to our ability to be productive. So tell me, from your expertise as a strategist in this area as well, what are some of the most effective time management skills that you are seeing to help people grow their business?
There are a lot of tools out there. In fact, there are countless tools out there, different methods, and they really apply to different industries. You know, it makes a difference whether you're a chiropractor or whether you're running a retail operation or a warehouse. So it really depends on the industry you're in. And so one of the things that is a universal rule is what is called the Pareto effect, or the Pareto principle, actually, where 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. And that's fairly universal. And it's used in other areas. 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your customers. But in this case, it's something to really, as an owner, to really look at is, you know, taking away the 80-20 factor, but what are the handful of things you as an owner do to get the most impact? And then the next step is to figure out how much time you allot to that each week. And when you're caught in this, you know, cycle of trying to kind of work in your business instead of on your business, and you become more of an administrator, you find that time becomes less and less. And so one of the things you need to back up and really think about is, what is that 20% that's going to get you a majority of your results?
Yeah, that 80-20 principle is so important. And one of the things that I walk a lot of my clients through, and I'm sure you do this as well because you just hit on it, is you really got to get clear, what is your job description? You know, what is your role? Because that's going to help you to identify the right activities. And then, like you said, to prioritize then those activities. Now, the next question I have for you may seem very simplistic, but oftentimes, you know, we have to look a little bit deeper under the surface. We're talking about business growth. In your opinion, how does time management, time prioritization, how does that really help us in the overall growth of one's business?
There's really I've seen and I work with companies roughly between like 800,000 and 8 million in annual sales. So there are different stage gates that a company will go through, again, depending on the industry and their average sale price and so forth. But there's a cycle that goes through that. In growth, you either need systems, you need people, or you need to adjust and revise your leadership. And that cycle keeps going through. And as you continue to grow, you need different areas. So depending on where you are, when you go back to that 80-20 rule, a lot of your 20% is going to be focused on what is that pinch point for your next growth. Say it's, you know, you've established a business and you've got things going and you have a few employees, but you really don't have any systems. Well, that's next. So you got to focus on developing your systems and processes. And once you do that, then more revenue, there's probably going to be a point of workload and you need people. And then it keeps going from there. So it's really tying together where you are in your growth and what your greatest needs are, which then ties back into where do you focus your efforts.
Exactly. And so many people struggle when they're on that cusp of when is it the right time to hire someone, and then the stress of what do we let go of. So again, there really is a science, and that's why, I love what you're doing and other people who are doing the same thing. Is this is why you want a strategist like Mark, to help you to start to clarify when is it time and how to do it with more ease. Now, you mentioned again having systems. Well, we all know that when you have systems, there's probably tools and software that are out there to help us with this. So what are some tools and softwares that you think are the best and that you recommend to help business leaders and business owners with learning how to leverage and manage their time?
Really, specifically software. I've got some in mind, but the systems itself really are kind of three main areas. One is time blocking, where you're going to allot a certain time block in your day to focus on a specific task and nothing else. And that's the important thing, is nothing else. There's no interruptions. There's no meeting in the middle. Can I have a minute of your time type thing? It's especially when you're trying to focus your efforts, really, go in on that time blocking and, go. It's kind of like doing payroll. That's what you do. Now, an owner shouldn't be doing that, but if they are, that's just an example that you got to do that start to finish. Otherwise, it can be an endless process. The other one is the 1-3-5 rule, where you get one major task done a day, 3 intermediate tasks and 5 smaller tasks done in a day. And if you do that, you think, well, it's only 8 tasks. Well, in a week, say you're working a 5-day week, that's 40 tasks. That's a lot on the plate of a business owner. And again, if they tie that back once again to the 80-20 rule, are those tasks aligned with getting the most results in your business? And then the other one is just, if it's urgent, do you do it yourself or do you delegate? And if it's not urgent, do you schedule it or do you drop it? So it's really, and there are a lot of tools tied into those where you can do that. But beyond the software itself is, do you have the discipline to be able to do that and value your time as much as you do your money, and really structure your day accordingly? And one of the things you will find as a business owner, and a lot of my business owners find, is it makes it a lot easier to delegate when you have your time structured that way and you're focusing on important things, and you can hand things off. It's more easy. It's a lot easier to hand things off when you really have an appreciation and understanding of the value of your time as an owner.
Absolutely. And, Mark, I just love everything you're saying. And, some of the things that, to piggyback off what you're saying, some of the things that I teach and speak on is, you brought up time blocking. And I find so many business owners, especially entrepreneurs, they struggle with that. And it's a mindset shift. I try to get them to really start to learn that a schedule is not restrictive. It's actually bringing them freedom, because the things that get scheduled get done. And so time blocking has been huge for me. It's been one of the greatest resources for me. So I definitely have seen the power of doing that. And I love how the idea of, are you going to do it, delegate it, dump it, and really helping with those. So Mark, if people are out there and wanting to get in touch with you to learn more about how you can assist them, what's the best place that people can find you?
My website, which gives some review of my business and services that I offer, is www.reignitegrowthcoach.com. My email is markw@reignitegrowthcoach.com. And my cell and text number is 303-921-3440.
Beautiful. Well, Mark, thank you so much. And for all of you out there watching us, remember, time is an investment. So make sure whatever you are investing this week, you're setting yourself up for success, because the more that you can work and control your time, that's going to help you level up and control your business and your life. Stay tuned. We'll be right back for more Be Productive.
Hi,
I am Noura Al-Masri and welcome to Echoes of Impact with Noura. Join me on a journey where we celebrate the power of women in business, the driving force behind growing nonprofits, and the architects of change in our community. We'll explore strategies for building successful businesses, increasing cash flow, and saving on taxes. Tune in to Echoes of Impact with Noura, because when women succeed, we all thrive. See you there.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
Have you ever had to hire multiple contractors? It is a daunting task that takes a lot of management time and impacts the core business or the company that time you spend with your loved ones. At Texas Home Property Solutions, you can count on a responsible company that can tackle all your general contractor needs. Electricity, painting, remodeling, plumbing, air conditioning, and roofing. Hire us and forget it. With over 20 years of experience, Texas Home Property Solution will deliver your project on time and within budget, with the high level of quality and integrity, no matter the size or complexity. If you are a company, a government institution, or an individual who needs a general contractor, you need Texas Home Property Solution. Take a decisive step and call us today for a free consultation.
Welcome back. What I loved about today's conversation with our guests is how real it was. You know, so many times we are focused on just the results, but we aren't paying attention to how we need to invest our energy, our time, our processes. All those investments that we make on the back end are really going to impact our ability to be productive and to get the results. So, you know, today we talked about those 4 keys of where we need to invest. The systems, again, the back end systems that are going to allow us to work through what we need to work through so that we can get the deliverables and those results that we want. We talked about the investment in our ability to communicate. You know, everything's a negotiation. So let's make sure that we are negotiating with purpose and intention in everything we're doing. We're talking about how we are investing in the protection of our systems. You know, we create things each and every day. We've got to protect all of our intellectual property and the systems so that should something come up, we're not going to miss a beat. And then lastly, just like we have to focus on how we're investing our dollars, even more so how we're investing our time. So I hope that you took away a lot of value. I know I did. And I'm so excited to be able to share these messages with you. So don't miss our next episode. And remember, always show up and be ready to be productive.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
Are you drowning in a sea of medical records, spending countless hours in the documentation? Picture this, a cutting-edge AI-powered tool designed specifically for the healthcare industry that streamlines your workflow, reducing time and effort spent on tedious medical record research. Introducing Data Dive, your lifesaver in medical record review. Say goodbye to manual data extraction and hello to efficiency. Our advanced artificial intelligence delves into vast medical databases, swiftly extracting relevant information so you can focus on what truly matters, patient care. Imagine having a virtual assistant at your fingertips, tirelessly working to compile comprehensive medical histories, treatment plans, and diagnostic reports. Data Dive not only saves you time, but ensures accuracy and completeness in your documentation. Data Dive adapts to your unique needs, learning from your preferences, constantly improving its performance. It's like having a dedicated research partner that evolves with you. The future of healthcare is here. Artificial intelligence meets medical expertise. Partner with Data Dive and embrace a world where your valuable time is spent caring for patients, not drowning in paperwork. Your patients deserve it. Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Hi, my My name is Michelle Merhar. You may remember me from the morning news. I'd like to tell you how getting data and documents into action fast gives you a competitive edge. Digital-first thinking to manage document workflows efficiently are giving all organizations a competitive edge. In fact, digital document automation is an essential process, helping us to become more profitable and to compete. By making any process paperless with secure automation, decisions can be made efficiently, virtually from anywhere. You'll be able to find and share documents securely in seconds. Your staff will be empowered by making optimal use of every office hour. And by the way, the size of your organization doesn't matter. Precision Products has been helping organizations for more than 30 years with paper to digital processes, including scanning systems for any document to premises